The real estate market is changing. We're in a completely different landscape. We have new commission requirements out there in real estate nationwide. We got the market shifting a little bit, and I have been inundated with a bunch of you asking the same question. So I figured I would dedicate this whole video on what the top 5 things that you should know if you are selling your house in today's market. By the way, today is August 3rd, 2024. The number one biggest thing you need to know about if you are selling your home is that the whole commission structure in real estate is changing nationwide. You heard me right. So what's currently happening right now, effective August 13th, yes, I said August 13th. A lot of you said, no, Audra, it's August 17th. It's the 13th. We are no longer publishing buyer agent commissions in the MLS. Did you guys hear me on that? There will no longer be buyer agent commissions published in MLS. So if you go to Redfin, if you go to Trulia, if you go to homes.com, they have in the past put down what the buyer's agent commission is going to be. There is no such thing anymore. You heard me right. Am I driving the point home? No buyer agent commission will be published in any real estate sites. Well, unless they want to get sued. So for you smarty pants out there, let me clarify. August 13th is the day that we are no longer publishing commissions in the MLS. And a lot of you are hearing, no, Audra, it's August 17th. August 17th is the day the laws apply. Meaning that if us realtors out there get all the forms, because they're all new now, and we don't get our crap together, guess what? We get in trouble if we do anything out of the ordinary and we get our hands slapped and we get in trouble and we're in a deep pile of poo-poo if we don't have everything all lined up by August 17th. So the laws take place August 17th, August 13th, commissions are taken out of MLS. I hope you understand what I just said. Either way, a change is coming. Okay, one of the major changes, which I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail on this one because this whole entire video is really focused on the seller, but sellers out there, you need to know that your buyer has to sign a buyer-broker agreement with their buyer's agent. And what this contract says, it says that the buyer is going to be paying the buyer's agent a certain percentage or a flat fee to represent them in the sale to purchase your home. So they are committing to their buyer's agent that they are going to pay them a certain commission or a flat fee or some type of compensation. They have to have that in place before they even show your property. That is the law effective August 17th, 2024. Now, a lot of you sellers are thrilled. You're thinking, yay, I don't have to pay any buyer's agent commissions. Okay, newsflash, you never had to. I know. You just didn't know you didn't have to. And a lot of you, didn't realize that commissions were negotiable. They always were, just probably your agent never told you, okay? So that's kind of what the whole lawsuit was about, is that we don't want a commission fix and commissions are negotiable. However, the operative word is negotiable. So your buyer now has an agreement, this is law, mind you, with their buyer's agent that there's some commission arrangement, all right? Some payment, some compensation arrangement, okay? When you get an offer from your buyer, it is more than likely that they are going to include this little guy in their offer. You guys see that? This is called a seller payment to buyer's broker. This means that your buyer is going to make an offer and they're going to say, hey, we're making this offer and we're requesting you to pay a certain fee or a certain percentage to cover my buyer's agent commission. Did you guys hear that? Now, I know a lot of you sellers are like, I'm not going to pay that. You don't have to, but you may not have a buyer anymore. So how I'm advising my sellers right now is I'm saying, hey, listen, it's going to be a little clunky here for the next 6 months. We got a lot of different forms and a lot of changes, and it's a whole different way that we're doing business. So what I'm telling my sellers, instead of just like crossing your arms and being stuck in your ways, to be open to all the offers that are coming in. As probably some of you know, you're watching the headline news, the economy isn't what it used to be. The real estate market is definitely shifting. It is slowing. I didn't say correcting. I didn't say nosediving. I said it's shifting. I did do a video a few weeks ago, which I will link down below, called, "Hey, how's the housing market?" I want you to watch that video because a lot of you are reaching out to me saying, "Audra, I just don't know what my area is, and I don't know how the market's doing, and my realtor, I don't know if I trust them." That video will walk you through where to find the reports in your area so you can make wise decisions. But as the market is shifting or slowing, or those days on market calculation is ticking up, you don't want to be too firm on, "I ain't paying for commissions," right? Everything's negotiable. The bottom line is, do you want to sell your house? And if you do need to cooperate with the market. I cannot stress that enough. Every state has a revised listing agreement, okay? And you can see this one. This is our revised listing agreement in California. You'll see there's a ton of red, and you'll notice the word draft on here. This was the first draft. But the most important part of this agreement, and I want you all to listen up, if you are selling your house, you're only negotiating with your listing agent commission, okay? There's no conversation about what you're going to be paying your buyer's agent. So if your listing agent's asking you, "Hey, what are we going to pay the other side?" That's not their responsibility, okay? Buyer's agent commissions are negotiated when the offer is delivered to you. So when you're signing a listing agreement, there's going to be nothing in that listing agreement that has any commitment from you as the seller as to what commission you are going to be paying to the buyer side. Did you guys hear me on that? So if your realtor that you're hiring to sell your house is asking how much money you want to give to the buyer's agent, you got to tell them you're not comfortable having that conversation because you want to see the offer that comes in before you negotiate. And the reason why that listing agent is asking that question is because you know what's going to happen. That buyer's agent's going to call to make an appointment, and they're going to call that listing agent and say, "Hey, how much is your seller willing to give for a commission?" And then you need to coach. You need to coach your listing agent to say this: "We are open to all offers. Please put your best foot forward. My seller is not against paying commissions, but of course it depends on the price and terms of the purchase offer." Now, the only thing that I would put in that listing agreement if you are working with your selling agent is to say, hey, if you're representing both parties, meaning you're representing the seller and the buyer, will you reduce your commission? And if they say yes, that's the only time that you are going to write anything in that listing agreement specifying how much you're going to pay them if they represent the buyer, okay? But that's between you and your listing agreement. There is no agreement, there is nothing written in that contract whatsoever as to how much you, as a seller, are going to pay that buyer's agent. We don't talk about that when you are working with your listing agent. Did you guys hear me? Tip number 2, get your head screwed on straight. Know what the market is, okay? Now, you don't have to be a genius. Just turn on the TV. The housing market is slowing. The feds are probably going to cut rate next month, not because they like to be nice, it's because they know something we don't, which it means the economy is slowing. Now, please watch this video. How's the housing market? It goes through the reports. You will notice that inventories are increasing. The days on market calculation, meaning how long it takes to get under contract, is increasing. The price reductions are also increasing, meaning those sellers are having to reduce their price to sell their home. So if you are going to sell your house in this market, you need to cooperate. And the best way to do that is to set your house at the right price and have the proper expectation. It more than likely will take longer to sell your house than a week. Okay, tip number 3, let's talk furniture, okay? Let's not talk furniture. So if you're selling your house, you don't ever talk about furniture, what you want to sell, what you want to include, until all contingencies are removed. And if you want my personal take on it, is just don't even assume that you want to sell any of your furniture. It just creates so much drama. I hate it. And by the way, if you're a seller, I don't care if your furniture is from Restoration or Pottery Barn or the Salvation Army. It's not what you think the value is, okay? It's not one of these appreciating assets. Sometimes your buyer will feel like, oh, I offered you this great price and there was all these things in the home inspection report. You should just give us your furniture. And we get escrows and closings held up because the buyer's all butthurt about not getting the stupid chair or the patio furniture or the pot wasn't included. Like, okay, you guys, we are selling houses. We are not selling personal property. Now, sometimes it works out, but if you are selling your home and you want to sell some of those furnishings, the number one biggest tip I can give you in this category is do not have those conversations until all the contingencies are removed. You can thank me later for that tip. But before we get into the next one, please subscribe to my channel, smash the like button. I'm trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's just been a goal, and I really need your help with getting me to my goal. It's just really to educate and help people like you out there get this information. A lot of you just don't know it. All right, let's get back into it. Tip number 4, buyers don't care about you. I know that's hard to hear, and it's the truth, though. I have a lot of you sellers coming to me saying,
Audra, I need to have this amount out of my property. If I can't move to wherever I need to go.
Your buyers don't care, okay? They don't care. The market's gonna bear what the market's gonna bear. And if you're a seller, the only advice I can give you is put your house on the market. The buyer's not gonna care what you need out of the house. They also don't care how long of a rent back you need. They really don't care about your furniture. They really don't care about you. The only thing they care about is purchasing the house for good price and terms. And the sooner you realize that, the quicker you're gonna sell your home because you realize that there's not as many buyers out there and you're no longer driving the bus when the market's more of a balanced market and it's starting to stabilize. I know that's hard. Just telling you the truth. I have sellers right now that I'm working with who I really truly love. They're great. I'm very lucky to have a good batch of sellers right now. However, it's very hard for them to adjust to the new market that we're in. Shortening contingencies and selling houses as is and not offering, let's say, termite clearance or asking for credits. That's a little bit more of the norm right now. And all I'm gonna say is if you're selling in this marketplace, just be open to all offers that come your way. Cannot stress that enough. Now, a common mistake I see a lot of sellers making, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here, is they start nitpicking, okay? They have their house on the market, they're not getting the traffic, or they're not getting the offers, or they're not getting the results that they want. So they start picking, and they'll do things like this. They'll call their realtor, or they'll call me because I'm their listing agent, and they'll say things like this.
Hey, Audra, the pictures on MLS, I don't think they're organized right. I think you need to have picture number 8 as, picture number 1, because that's got to be the reason why these buyers aren't coming to the property.
I love you, but that's not the reason why they're not making an appointment, okay? I love you for trying. The other thing I see is that I see sellers now, they're starting to tweak the property description. No one reads the property description. And I know some of you are like, yeah, I do. Okay, I'd say less than 1% of the population out there reads the property description. But if you're not getting the results you want, you sellers out there start going in a deep dive because you're not really facing the truth, okay? Let me give you a few more examples. I love this one. Hey, Audra, are you marketing my house on Facebook? Because, there's all these different groups. I'm not saying that that's not a good idea. I'm just saying most people don't go, hey, I'm looking for a property. I'm going to go on Facebook, okay? So you start coming up with all these reasons why, your house isn't being shown or you're not getting the results. This is another one I love. There's some homes that I have that have views, right? Ones you don't even have to guess there's a view. You walk out, there's the sand, there's the ocean, right? There's others that usually will have a peekaboo view, and the fog has to be clear and the sun has to be shining for you to see the whatever view that they're trying to capture. And of course, the photographer will come to the property and we get some good images, but it's not the 5 days out of the year where the view is just perfect, okay? You guys, if we have to hunt for the view, then it's not one of the selling features of the home. Now, I hate to be that crass about it, but I can't tell you how many of my sellers are asking me to come out and repackage and reshoot their property because we didn't capture the view. If we have to search for it, it's not that great of a view. I know. I hate to say that, but if you are selling your house and you're not getting the showings and you're not getting the offers, one of 3 things are happening. Number 1, you're not priced properly. That's probably 90% of the problem. Number 2 is you're not waiting long enough. So you need to know what the average days on market is in your area for that price point. You have to be a little bit more patient. More than likely, your house isn't going to get multiple offers in the first week. The third thing that potentially could be happening is that you don't have the proper marketing on your home and you don't have those pretty images perhaps that's not showing your house in the best light, or it could be a combination of all three. Okay, this is my last tip. I'm sorry, I'm on a bandwagon here. Okay, if you are overpriced, you are not helping yourself. Buyers right now do not want to negotiate and offer you $200,000 below your ask price. You need to lower your price significantly if you aren't getting the activity. Furthermore, if you are the highest priced home in the community, realize you are helping your neighbors who are priced lower sell their houses quickly. Okay? You're not helping yourself, you're helping your neighbor. Hope you guys understand that philosophy. The fifth tip, this one kills me. Don't listen to your neighbors, for crying out loud, folks. Like, your neighbors are going to tell you that your house is $1 million over what you have it listed for. Or they're going to give you advice on, hey, you know, your agent's not doing this or your agent's not doing that. Let me tell you something. Your neighbors have goggles on and it has gold filters through them. So they're trying to get your house to be the maximum price because that means their house goes up. In fact, I have this one lease that's on the market right now, and I had one of the neighbors come in and scream and yell at me because I had a lease that was significantly under market value, and he thought that because his mortgage payment on his house was considerably higher and it was the same model match. Folks, I've had the house for rent for 30 days, and I still haven't had one applicant. And I promise you, we're not overpriced, okay? And especially the neighbor doesn't think so either. But here's my point. You can't listen to the noise around you. Don't listen to your neighbors. Don't listen to your family's opinions. Don't listen to Zillow. Like, you're smart. I mean, no one has to tell you the market's kind of hurting right now. And if you don't know, I'm telling you, the market's a little slow right now. So don't get overzealous. Be humble. Be open. Now, this is kind of a bonus tip because a lot of people are reaching out to me asking this question, and the question is this: Audra, should I sell? Should I rent? Market's super weird. I'm not getting the price that I want. I live, let's say, in Florida, or I live in Arizona. I just don't know what to do. And so they're reaching out to me, asking me what my opinion is. Now, I'm going to tell all of my followers this. I'm never going to give you that advice. I don't know your situation. I don't know your financial risk. I don't know if you're high risk. I don't know your age. I don't know your market. I don't know. I sell homes. I'm a lowly realtor, right? But what I can tell you is that I highly suggest that you meet with a trusted financial advisor to go over your finances. And when you are making these decisions, you've got to make those decisions on the worst case scenario. Right now, I have a client, God bless his heart, I feel so bad for him, has a beautiful home in this gorgeous city called Laguna Beach, and they are having major issues with their current property. It was a rental property. I won't go through all the specifics, but it's going to potentially cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars to correct the issue. And of course, they did not have that in their budget, or they didn't even foresee that. Now, thankfully, they have the money to correct it and they have the proper insurances. But if you are consider even owning a home or even, potentially renting your home out, just remember there are those unforeseen issues. Whether you're owning or thinking about renting your home out, you just need to know the pros and cons of doing that, understand your risk. If you are really, really tight on cash right now and you're thinking about renting your property out, just remember you need to have those reserves in case something dramatic happens on the property, whether it be a slab leak or mold or whatever, right? So it's, in my opinion, that if you are really hurting financially and you need the money out of the house to survive, being highly leveraged is not the best decision. Now, that's just for me and my situation. That's what I'm teaching myself, is high leverage for me in a market like this is not something that I'm going to recommend to anybody. I hope that helps. There's a lot going on out there. We have some potential Fed rate cuts here in the near future. We have an election around the corner. We have a lot of crazy stuff going on in the real estate market as it surrounds the commission structures. It's going to be a little clunky here the next 6 months, folks. All I can say is be humble, be educated, continue watching these videos. I will continue to keep you posted as we progress through the next few months. I wish you all the luck, and please subscribe to my channel and smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.